Right, stable chat today. Paul Dobson and Dylan Barry. Don't forget, for all your accounting needs, and they're great supporters of Campbell's Comments. We've done one of these before. Juanita Breen, hello.
Hi, Paul.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
We're here. I like looking after people who look after me, Dobbo and the crew. They've pretty much got me started on these stable interviews, so make sure you look after those guys for all your accounting needs and going forward. We're not going to do a long, in-depth one. We're actually going to touch on...
I thought you had like 3 topics today.
Okay, well, it might go for a little bit longer than that. You've got to wait till the microphone gets to your mouth too. But that's okay. Well, we're going to highlight one of your horses, and this is what the stable chats are about when you're having horses and they're having a good run. Rourforroscoe. Don't worry about the dogs. They're okay. They're okay. But Rourforroscoe got the chockies again at Shepparton on Sunday. Not a high-profile race win or anything else like that, but certain wins mean more, especially to certain stables.
Yeah, look, he's a special little horse. He's been special from the day he was born. Everyone's always loved him. And then he became the Harness Charity Challenge horse. And that adds another level of meaning to it. And, to see what those guys and their families get out of, remembering Roscoe that way is really great. And if he ever works out what to do with his motor, he'll be good fun.
We have a little bit of fun with it because we both have better than cheddars, and we was talking about them when they were yearlings and what we were hoping for, and ours won last night, and I was just looking at their record. Ours has had 9 starts for 4 and 2. Your blokes had 10 for 4, 2 and 2, so only missed a place twice. Both times there was excuses for him missing it. And I spoke to Brett Coffey last night via text message, and I was saying that our horse is no superstar. But they're the best horses sometimes, aren't they? As far as the ride that you have and the fun that you can have with the participants and the owners going along.
Look, at the end of the day, we all want to breed a Group 1 winner, and we all want to be on that big stage. But realistically, that not every horse you breed can do that. But if you get a horse that's good to get on with, fun to have around, and does a job like he's doing, you can't ask much more than that.
Steve Salters in the ownership, and we'll get on to why he is in a sec. But he's just a passionate harness person. Back scenes, if you like, Paul Dobson and him have been great mates. Stephen Hunt, there's quite a few of them that are really, really good mates. He gets a hell of a kick out of this bloke every time he steps foot on the track, let alone when he wins, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he actually got his name from one of Steve's relatives. Roscoe lost a battle with a small cell cancer, and he was one of the motivators, I think, for starting the Harness Charity Challenge. And he was the charity that Pogger was actually playing for. And so 2 years ago we had 2 yearlings that were broken in and ready to go at Harness Charity Challenge time, and we donated 10% of each of those to be auctioned for the benefit of the Harness Charity Challenge. So the money those people paid for their share in the horse actually went to their chosen charity. So Pogger and 3 of his mates are in Harvey. They were there when he won his first race, so they came out to Cranbourne. Marty is one of the part owners. He had, I think it's the first horse he's had, and just, he and Steve that night, it reminds you why you do it.
There was a roar when he was, like, they made sure that everyone knew how he got his name.
Yeah, for sure. But even, the following the horses got, I see on, Facebook and social media that their friends and family always have a comment to make. But I took him to Cobram a few starts ago, and a man came up to see me and he said, excuse me, you don't know me, but my name's Peter Egan, and Roscoe was my friend. I stayed with him in New York, and this is his horse. And I went, okay. So he comes to see me every Cobram meeting. And asked me how he is. Oh, sorry, he was scratched the other day. Is he okay? Yeah.
So he claims ownership. So this is...
he just follows him because, he knows that connection. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't mean that in a derogatory way. He claims ownership because he actually knows Roscoe. So he follows harness racing. This is where it's a no-brainer. Hopefully everyone can hear this over these two. But it's where it's a no-brainer. Yeah, that's Lee Miles. That's your problem down there. But it is a bit of a no-brainer about how to promote our industry and how to grow it. What Pogger's doing right at the minute, it is Harness Charity Month, where they get involved with the punt to raise money for charities, chosen charities. At the end of the day, they just raise awareness, but they're building a bond. I don't bet, so I'm not a part of it, but I know that the byproduct of this is the people that who can select and can tip get get I suppose, more known, but they actually become a big bond, a great friendship of people, which is a great way to build an industry.
For sure, and like before COVID, at the end of the challenge, they had a dinner at Melton one night. I know Aaron's played in the challenge for a few years, and he met a lot of the people that are part of the challenge, and that's also great. That they're all harness enthusiasts, and the more people you can drag along for the ride, the better.
Yeah, the better, and the more fun you can have for it. The stable itself going good?
Yeah, fair. I've got a couple that are giving me some headaches just at the minute, but there are positives. We've had a really nice foal born last week. Golden Sunset was back at the trials this week and went nice. Our little Nutrien Winter Woolies horse is doing a good little job. Harvey's doing a good job. So yeah, there's positives. It's just that there's a couple that are really bugging me at the minute. And this beautiful spring weather would make it so much easier to work with. Yeah, you've just got to be overjoyed, don't you? You do indeed. It is. You're nearly out of the camera. You did this to me last time. You keep wandering off. It is also Vic Derby, down by the seaside, Victorian Derby. You don't have a seaside in the front paddock, but do you have a sweet Lou who threw to the Great White Blaze? Absolutely. I got the Great White Blaze and 3 stockings. Yeah, she's pretty special. It's a lovely little foal. I'm going to take a photo of her before I go. It's not little. She's not little either, but she's a beautiful foal. Yeah, so she's the second foal from Let's Jazz It Up. And yeah, very happy with her. Also on that, you said there before about Nutrien, you are actually going to sell a yearling this year with the yearling sale. I will come back. We'll do something when we've got her in the paddock and that. But you've just been proofing all of the pedigrees and that. These dogs are incredibly hard. They haven't barked the whole time we've been here, and they haven't stopped since we've done this interview. There's only one barking. But you've proofed your pedigrees. Are you looking forward to that, selling the horse come March? Yes and no. April, sorry. I'll probably miss him. I like him. He's a nice colt. He's the first foal from Let's Jazz It Up, and anyone that knows that family knows that it's a phenomenal family. Goes back to Roy Purden's breed, and every branch of that family has done a massive job. Modern day horses in that family. I could reel off 20 probably off the top of my head. Katy Perry, Magira, Cash and Flow, Tiger Army, Malcolm's Rhythm, B Major Threat. There's just Chicago Bull is in that family. Perfect Stride. It's a phenomenal family. Master Perry won a heat of the Victorian Derby. The down by the seaside Victorian Derby. He's out of. Yes, Katy Perry. Out of Katy Perry, yeah. And would have loved to have been in the down by the seaside Victorian Derby, but he had a knock on his leg a few weeks before, and we just couldn't go into 2,700 metres, so we ended up at Shepparton on Sunday in a 50 to 55. That's okay. Like I said, sometimes little fish are sweet, and that's what it's all about. Neats, thank you. Thank you for everything that you do. Don't forget the hashtag for the Great White Blaze. It's for the sweet Lou foals with the big blazes, and she gets it. Does she have a stable name? Ella. After? Let's Jazz It Up. So her foals are all jazz singers. So we've got Harry Connick's the first one, and that's Ella Fitzgerald. I knew there'd be a reason. That's why I kept going. I didn't know the answer to that. Hopefully people can see us. It does look a little bit dark. It is a trying sort of winter's day, and the dogs have knocked the camera a little bit, but that's okay. That's what happens with these. This has been Stable Chat, as I said, brought to you by Paul Dobson and Dylan Barry from Kelly Partners. Don't forget to look those guys up. And Neats, thank you very much. And don't forget, Pacing for Pink will come around very, very quick, March next year. May next year. Well, it's not quite as quick as I thought then. That's okay. May next year. So don't forget Pacing for Pink, raising awareness for breast cancer and what harness racing do. Neats, thank you very much. Thanks, Paul.